Hello and welcome back to another, to the definitive Starship review series without access to a proper table. Dang it, I spent so long last night making sure I said Prodigy review and not Discovery review that I mess it up in the Eaglemoss videos. I was even gonna say Discovery review. That is how bad it was. But anyway, we are looking today at the Son'a Battleship, a relatively new one, and a very new model for me, as I got it for Christmas from somebody. But first, as always, I have to say that I am part of the Eaglemoss affiliate program, which means that if you choose to buy this ship because of this video, there's a link in the description. That is an affiliate link. Therefore, if you purchase it through the link, I will get a 7% commission on the sale of this ship. I'm allowed to say whatever I want about these models, however, there is a monetary incentive for me to tell you to go buy this model, so keep that in mind as you hear my review. So yes, the Son'a Collector, the third and, to my knowledge, final Son'a ship from Insurrection. Been a while since I've seen Insurrection, and we will be comparing it next to its other Son'a ships. But of course, first, we've got to do our traditional size comparison. I didn't have a great Enterprise match from the selection available to me in this room, but the length of those wings, I guess you'd call it the wingspan of the Son'a ship, is about the same as the Enterprise J. And in fact, that curvature isn't the worst as well. Lengthwise, it was about the same length as the Columbia class, but I have far too many ships on my desk right now. Special edition wise, I found the Scimitar a really interesting comparison. I'm not going to be able to get these on screen great, they're so 3D. But the general shape, size, it's actually really similar. If you have a Scimitar, basically expect that from the top. Not from the side, of course, the Scimitar is much more vertical. But this top silhouette is really similar for both these models. Hopping over to Discovery, the best match I could get was usually a Klingon ship, but again, it's hard to get with how 3D it is. But from the end of these little antennas to the front of the little sphere on the Discovery shuttle pod thing, it's about the same length. And finally, over on the Universe Collection, we've got another bird-like ship that the Son'a Collection is definitely bigger, as you can see. Sticks out a bit more, and the wingspan goes much farther back, but it's similar enough, I thought I'd make the comparison. Right, these are all three pretty thick models, but here we go, the entire Son'a fleet, there we go, just about on screen. We'll get a bit closer look at the Battleship, but I just want to highlight, color-wise, you can see, they look quite nice together. The Collector ship is a little bit lighter. I, again, haven't seen Insurrection in a while. I don't know how screen accurate that is terribly. But it's a nice little alien set to have complete. I don't know if I actually have any other alien set complete. I've got most of a lot of the big chunks, but I think, yeah, every one of my lines, I'm missing just like that one or two little ships. But yeah, the complete Son'a collection is very nice to have, and a nice little Christmas gift, this battleship. But how does the ship stand on its own? In brief, very well, in my opinion. Hopefully it flies this way, actually. I haven't checked the magazine. Ooh. Okay, no, I have just double-checked, and yes, it does in fact fly this way. I only check because the flagship actually flies backwards in the movies. I have it displayed the correct way now, and I got a bit confused that the yellow matched. But actually, yeah, the yellow's in the front. But anyway, as a ship, it's not, not the model, but as a ship, it's not the most interesting ship to work with, so I'm actually surprised at how well I think they've captured it. I mean, it's got these rims kind of along here, these bumps, rib cage-like structure. It does feel nice. It looks like my model's actually got a little bit of a stain on it. Yeah, it just comes off. That's a stain from me, not the factory, apparently. But where there is a lot of detail, it is really nicely done. Whoops. Unlike that camera movement. Here we go. You can see on the back, you've got quite a lot of windowing. Like, it's another model, kind of like Space Stock, where when you look closer, you can really see the scale of it from the windows, even though it might not be so obviously as huge as it really is. One thing I liked, actually, was this front view. You can see there, they're not painted, but it's actually got indents for windows all along this wing, way back to the top, and then mirrored on the other side, of course. As well as probably, it looks like Enterprise E kind of style escape pods, which are actually huge next to those windows. But that's just a little touch. If they painted it, they're such small, it wouldn't have worked. But even just as indents, it's such a little touch that adds so much scale. Once your eyes see them, you're like, oh, this is a massive ship. And then inside the front there, you've also got similar windowing details between the claws. What looks like a deflector dish down there towards the bottom between the bits that poke out. and just some general panel work. I don't really recognize any sort of function in the top there. Nice little roll bar. Again, panel work, detailing. It's not a flat gray. If you can look, you can see it really well on the dark bits, but also on the light bits, you can see it's a slightly weathered, not Aztec, of course, it's an alien design, but it's got light gray bits, dark gray bits that do help it make it look really nice, even though you can see them real good actually down here where those windows were. But even if it's not the most apparent just at a glance, your brain definitely notices it subconsciously and makes it look a lot better for a ship that doesn't have so many greeblies on it. The underneath is a pretty similar story to the top. In fact, I think it might actually be mirrored, just the top and bottom, aside from these front sections are a bit different. There's not much detail on the sides because it's so thin, but where you have the warp nacelles Bassard collectors, I guess you'd call them, and then the impulse towards the back, it does really help pop just the whites and reds. Sorry, not the whites, the yellow and reds on the gray. I confuse white and yellow a lot. Just don't question it. Probably your biggest point of detail is back here on the rear of the wings with just general panel work. But it does look good and it all hangs together nicely. And yeah, as for the main ribcage bit, just looking at some of the pictures from Insurrection that come with the magazine, it does look like that's really all that there is on the ship. There's nothing missing or anything, but it does look quite nice what it is. I mean, when I pulled it out of the box, I was like, oh yeah, that's a nice looking ship. That's a Son'a ship. I want to throw it like a boomerang, but that would be very bad. And it is a somewhat intricate ship when it comes to the kind of central bridgey area. Like, there's a lot of things that wouldn't be fun to mold and put together. That's definitely a chore. And it's another one why I'm surprised, kind of like the Romulan Bomber review, where it is like more of a wide model than a long. It's actually really square. I think Memory Alpha had it 155 long, 195 wide, so like very close to a square, which I think is why it fits so well. But again, it's a kind of two-handed model, and yeah, for how flat and kind of wide it is, it does not feel small at all. In fact, it's actually a bit of a problem model trying to display it along other sides because of this massive wingspan. You saw when I tried to get everything in frame. You'd never try and display stuff like that, but it really does need some, like, a bit of Tetrising to get it to work. So yeah, size, well, being too small is definitely not a problem. I guess the model is too big isn't a problem. It's more my shelf is too small is what the problem is. My shelving is definitely not adequate to store every Eaglemoss ship I have. In fact, to end this video, I'm going to put a picture, the one you're looking at right now, of just how I'm displaying it, just so you can get a good idea of how the ships all look together in the Son'a collection, which is a very nice collection for probably not the most popular of species, but one of the big TNG movies. In fact, I might even be able to recreate Insurrection ship-wise with my Eaglemoss models now. I don't have the holo ship, but, I got the E and all that stuff. But yeah, it's a little after Christmas, but if you're looking for maybe a gift and a bit more of an expensive gift, this might be a nice one for a Trekkie, just the Son'a collection. But also the model itself, if you're interested in the Son'a Battleship, this is definitely a good model. I mean, I don't know of a better one you could get. I also don't know of another one you can get. But it's nice to have this little alien collection closed off with a well-made model and a good representation of the ship that it's supposed to be. So with that, I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments. I'll answer them. If you want me to review other models, particularly these two Son'a ships, I could go and review the other ones if people are interested. Just let me know. Might take a little while to get around to them. I'm actually batch recording for the quarters. I'm losing access to most of my Eaglemoss ships. But hey, I'll get around to it eventually. And at the very least, I can comment a review for you. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.